I just love love. So I don't see a problem. I'm not seeing the problem here. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to read 1-star reviews of books that I love. Okay, one thing that I like to do, I have Goodreads, but I try not to look on Goodreads until after I've read a book. I don't really check other people's reviews because I think that I'm that person that can be easily persuaded by other people. So I try not to look at other people's reviews, but today we're going to be doing that and just seeing what people think about the books that I love. And I think that I will try my best not to get offended because I know everyone has their own different opinions. I might have to snap back if people hurt my feelings, so we'll see. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the video. We're gonna start with Ugly Love. It's been over a year since I read this book and gave it 5 stars. Honestly, I feel like I kind of need to reread this book and see if it's still 5-star worthy. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and start with the first one because it literally starts with,
"If you're a fan of this book, please don't read this review. It's going to upset you, and then you're going to hate me and leave mean comments."
and then we can't be friends anymore. Okay, someone said there's better writing on the walls of high school toilets than in this book. Okay. It has 743 likes, so apparently lots of people agree with that. This girl said, "This one's for all the I can fix him girlies out there and not me. Y'all stay safe though." Someone responded and said, "I am an I can fix him gal to my core, but this is way too much even for me. Absolutely awful, horrendous. My absolute breaking point was, spoiler alert, when he called Tate Rachel." Someone said this book is perfect for fans of Life with Derek or Brandon and Callie from The Fosters. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about that real quick. I love Life with Derek. Literally would rewatch that show on YouTube all the time. I always thought it was so weird that people shipped Casey and Derek. That's gross. I don't see that chemistry between them at all. I think that they just bicker like siblings do. And let's not even compare this to Brandon and Callie. That's so weird on so many levels. Like, first of all, Tate and Miles are not even related in any way. Like, that's oh, okay. Whole Callie Brandon thing, I guess that sort of relates. Yeah, that's just weird. I was not for that relationship at all. If you watched The Fosters, no, I'm definitely not team Callie and Brandon. I don't approve of their relationship at all. I think it's weird. I cannot defend that. I really can't. Okay, all right. I can't defend that, so I'm gonna just move on. Someone said this book is my 13th reason. Someone said, "I'm surprised I'm still medically okay after rolling my eyes so much." Yeah, Colleen is not for me. I don't think Colleen is for a lot of people, honestly. I've been seeing a lot of negative things about her recently. Someone said, "Looking back, I don't remember a single thing I liked about this book." Okay, honestly, like I'm reading these reviews and I'm like, I think that I need to reread this book because I don't know why so many people are saying things and then I'm like, okay, I can't even defend that, you know? So maybe I need to reread this book. The next book that I am going to be doing is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I really love this book. I thought this book was just really fun and comedic gold. Like, it was just a funny, cute book. So I'm actually really interested to see why people didn't like this. Someone said, "These two would definitely get divorced." Someone DNF'd it. She said, "I just can't read more of this." Nope, Lucinda, is that her name, and Joshua sound extremely annoying. I don't care about how much she hates Josh forever. I simply don't care enough to continue reading this. And here I was hoping this to get me out of a slump. Okay, I don't know. I think it's just like depends on what kind of books interest you. I think that this book was fun because it's just something that's lighthearted. It's not something that needs to be taken so seriously. And yeah, I get that they're grown-ups, like they're adults, you know, they should be behaving, I don't know, perhaps like they should be a little bit more professional, but I don't think that, I don't know, I just feel like it's just meant to be fun. Like, they're in the office, you know, like make it a little fun. Who wants to be working in the office all day, working their little 9 to 5, and it's just boring, you know? The writing style was so obnoxious I could only stomach this via audiobook while driving long distance when I was forced to listen to the general premise. Someone said this book is overrated. Lucy and Josh work at the same office, but by work I don't mean that they actually work. All they do is stare at each other like 5-year-old kids. Lucy, the mentally 2-year but physically 28-year-old girl, hates Josh. Guess why? What is the big bad reason? Because he didn't smile at her when they first met. Yep, that's very, very logical and cute of you, Lucy. It's like a grumpy sunshine type of thing, I feel like, right? Like Lucy's cute and sweet, and then there's just Josh who's like this jerk, and they're fighting for this position at work, and it's just like they're bickering, and then it just turns into this cute little love story. I don't see a problem. I'm not seeing the problem here. Someone just rated it a 1 star and they're just like, no. Like just no other context, just no. The next book that I have is The Deal from the Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy. This book is so fun, honestly. If I want to see what everyone says because I love this book. It's just a cute, I just love fun books. Like you want to read and just like not be in the real world, you know what I mean? So I feel like if a book can make me feel like I'm living vicariously through the character, then I find enjoyment in it. I can't believe why am I struggling? I can't believe the catastrophe that is this book. I know some trashy romances are good, but this was absolutely, utterly terrible. I tried reading this to get out of a reading slump, but I felt like it dug a whole grave to my reading career. The writing style, absolutely preposterous. It was so boring, and the story could have been easy 100 pages shorter, and I didn't even enjoy the chemistry between Hannah and Garrett. Nope. Someone literally said up the rating of the last 1-star book I read because this one was much, much worse. Not worth the hype, love. What in the actual world did I just read? Someone said they changed the rating because the author is problematic. I didn't know that. What did Elle Kennedy do that is problematic? DNF'd literally so bad, it's giving Wattpad, and I won't torture myself by reading more of this. No, really, someone let me in on the joke here. Why does everyone go crazy for this book? Still stand by this. Garrett wasn't it. This is the worst book I've ever read. Book Talk lied to me. This was dreadful. I feel like I'm gonna read all these reviews and then question my ratings. Am I just falling into the crowd, or do I have poor taste in books? Like, I feel like this is gonna make me question myself, and I'm just gonna be like, do I have taste? Next book that I have is All the Lies by St. Abbey. These books just keep getting longer and more boring. Can't sit through another two books of this repetitiveness. I'm gonna go rewatch Death Note instead. DNF to 20%. I knew I didn't like Logan for a reason. The series is too disturbing but keeps you coming back to know what else happened. Okay, but if it keeps you coming back, then why is it 1 star? I don't understand. What? Most Wattpad book ever. I can't imagine writing a more ridiculous ending to a book than this. It's problematic on so many levels, but also like the plot sucks. Oh my gosh. Trash. Just trash. I don't like this. Next book we have is Every Last Word by Tamara Stone. Someone said DNF'd at 30%. I am changing this book to 1 star due to the fact of how unrealistic it is. I say that is an unfair accusation, but before you say that, do you have anxiety? Do you have OCD tendencies? Sometimes things need to be blatantly honest, and I have to say something that is very true. If you haven't had any of those, or at least OCD tendencies, you probably don't fully understand what it is like to have OCD unless you're a psychiatrist or deal with it. I feel like majority of people just have an issue with this book because they feel like OCD and mental illness was not accurately displayed, but it's a fictional book, so I don't know. Can you really be mad at that? You know what I mean? Okay, next book that I have is Heartbones. Literally, please tell me what the issue with this book is. What could the issue possibly be with this book? I want to know. I gave this a 1 star because some people only look for negatives no matter where they are, and those people would be missing out on a good book. I don't want them to miss it. This actually deserves a galaxy of stars, just like the author and all the words she gives us. Stop looking for negatives everywhere and go read this. If you don't want to read this, she has a lot of other books out too, and you will be a better human for reading them. It's like not a negative review, it's actually a positive, but they put it in the negative category because, like they stated, like people sometimes just look for negatives and everything. So she's like, I actually love this book, but I'm gonna give it a 1 star because I know people look for bad things. So I like that. This is up there with Without Merit in that I just kind of hated this book. Bea's past and overall demeanor at the beginning had my interest piqued. I love that Sarah and Elena were not cliche stepsister and stepmother. The dad didn't get a fair break, but I get it. The problem is what happened the second Samson and Bea reached an understanding. It became nothing but Samson after that. When I initially read that book, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's gonna be like she's gonna move with her dad and then she's gonna have this evil stepmom and evil stepsister. but I loved that they were so sweet and so open with her, and they were nothing but kind to her, you know. And then her stepsister obviously introduced her to Samson and like that whole friend group. I just thought this book was very fun and just like refreshing. I do understand that it became about Samson, but I feel like that's kind of the point of the story. Like, this book is about, I mean, it's about Bea, but it's about Bea and how she met Samson and kind of the development of their relationship. Like, that's the point of the story. The point of the story was to show kind of Becca's background, but then also to show like how she went from that to her being with Samson. I think it makes sense because they talk about her history with her mother. Her mother doesn't really care about her, and then you meet Samson and you're like, okay, Samson's this rich guy, but we obviously, you know, read more, and then you find out Samson really isn't this rich guy. He actually has a past that's very similar to Bea's. So I think that Colleen's point of showing like, you know, Bea's life before Samson is just to connect them and show that how similar they really are, and that's what brings them together. So yeah, it does become about Samson because the book is really, it's about Bea and Samson. I don't know, like, what? The book is about Bea and Samson. That's my understanding of it. So I don't understand the problem with that rating. I wasted 4.5 hours of my time. The plot twist was literally the stupidest thing I've ever read in my life. Why is it stupid? I don't know. I feel like the plot twist of the story is more so just saying like she saw Samson and then she made the assumption that he was a rich guy living in a rich neighborhood, but that really wasn't who he is. Someone said, thank you, Cole, for reminding me why I'm in a reading slump. You know what's funny? Anytime I'm in a reading slump, I will go read a Colleen Hoover book and boom, I'm like healed. What drives me crazy about Colleen is her female characters. She always makes them so desperate and clingy. Honestly, I might have to agree with that. I will say that a lot of co-hosts, female leads, do tend to chase after the guy. But I feel like that happens in so many books. The final book that I have is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So the first one reads, from the moment she said a holy pepperoni, I realized I was too old to be reading this book. This is a young adult book. Like, I don't know what you want. I personally am not a huge fan of YA like reads, but I loved this book. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be pretty immature. Like, it's a book for young adults. Like, it's gonna be immature. But so you're gonna give it a low rating because you read it knowing that it was a young adult book, and then you read it and it entails young adult language? Like, I don't made a Goodreads account just so I could give this book 1 star. Well, that was very time efficient, wasn't it? It's basically a YA serial and it's really, really bad. I read this book until the very end and I have so many regrets. A high school student is somehow allowed to do a class project about the murder of a student in this very same school 5 years earlier, but even suspending disbelief on the entire premise. It's never justified why Pippa cares so much. Who cares why she wanted to investigate it? It's fiction. Like, if she found interest in that, then let her be. Like, why does there have to be some deep understanding behind it? It's not real. Alright guys, that is the end of the video. Comment down below your thoughts. Let me know if you guys agree with any of the ratings, or let me know your ratings on the books that were mentioned. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video off here. If you enjoyed, please be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Why you be all in your feelings, making me look like a villain, when I thought we was just chilling.